All right, peace and love, family. Welcome. Bear with me. Ooh, the camera's close. I don't know what I done did, y'all. Ain't no telling. Welcome. Let me get myself together. Let's see who's joining tonight. I hope you can hear me. Let's see. Bear with me, family. All right. I hear my audio. I just had to check. You know, I be playing around trying to learn this stuff, and by the time I learn something, I mess something up. Bear with me, y'all. Welcome. My name is Latasha. Welcome to Clara's Revival. I am your one and only. Hopefully that music is not too loud, but I just want to relax a little bit. I hope you all have had a good week. I hope you all are healthy, happy, and in good spirits. And as you come in, please make sure that you like. As you come in, it is good housekeeping. Give me a like when you come in my house, please. Help my channel, help me to get the word out. I have a very important message. I specialize in coaching survivors of domestic abuse and sex trauma. And a lot of women are stuck in cycles and trauma. And a lot of this affects our friendships. A lot of this affects our ability to have healthy relationships with not only men, but amongst other females. So let's talk about what the sisterhood is. What is a sister code? And for me, that's just respect. It's love for one another. It's wanting to see each other win. It's not being vindictive or jealous. And when those human emotions do come up, you check yourself, you deal with it. We should all want to see each other win. It's okay to be a little bit jealous of someone else's situation. Sometimes when we're down and we see other people winning, we can be in that mode of, when is it my time? Okay, that's understandable. But to take it to a point to where you have to hate on your fellow sister, we should all, in this day and time, be congratulating each other. We are doing big things out here. Females are representing. We are healing ourselves. We are educating ourselves. We are loving and rebuilding our communities. We are so valuable. So why not strengthen our community up by strengthening our relationships? So to me, that's what the sisterhood is. Just basic rules. Having respect around someone's mate. If you're around someone's mate or a husband, not going around dressed scantily clad. Knowing how to talk to your friend with respect while being honest. That's what the sisterhood is about. It's supposed to be about building each other up, about community. And why is this important? It's important because in this day and time where spiritual warfare is elevated, we need to get it together. We need to be feeding ourselves. We need to be feeding our community. This is important for our future. This is spiritual warfare. And if our homes aren't correct, if we're raising our children in trauma, if our relationships with each other are unhealthy, we're not going to be productive citizens. We're not going to create change. We're not going to be able to love ourselves properly, and we're not going to be able to love anyone else. Can you understand what I'm talking about? Let's see. Checking the chat. So, what do I think are some of the struggles of being able to really bond as females? First and foremost, we have to acknowledge our nature. I think sometimes our nature, we can be quite emotional sometimes to where we're not rational. We can run with what we feel versus what's fact. And these are things that we have to keep in check. So, noting our nature and the change of our hormones and different things that we go through, we can be quite moody. But, keeping it in check, that's the important part. Excuse me. Also, I think trauma, our past trauma plays an effect. And many of us have many types of traumas. Maybe it's our relationship with our mothers. A lot of people have relationships with their mothers to where it wasn't positive. Everyone doesn't have a loving, supportive mother. And when the people who raise you, the people who are supposed to love and support and take care of you, when they're not there in the way that they're supposed to be, it really can make it hard for you to trust anyone else in life because you were abandoned from the beginning. So when you have those type things going on, how can you trust another woman? And some females really become hard and bitter by the trauma. Turn into the mean girl. Turn into someone that's never happy, never satisfied, always has something negative to say, can never uplift the next woman, can never really give a compliment because she's stuck in her trauma and she doesn't love herself. Another thing that I find worthy to mention is this male-centered society that we live in. And I don't consider myself a feminist. So when I say this, I'm saying this as a woman who have lived experience. Okay, I have seen men. I have dealt with many forms of manipulation and just seen the worst in people. So I can really read people like a book in a different way. I'm talking about I can read verbal cues, the tone of your voice, body language, the way you look, certain looks that you make. I can really read people. And so with that, it just affects our ability to trust. How can you have meaningful relationships with females? And another, what I was getting to was the fact that we live in a male-centered society where we're taught. We saw our mothers, our grandmothers be in relationships and marriages that weren't serving them, where we saw them, where they weren't happy, where they weren't respected. And this isn't everyone's story. But a lot of us out here have had traumatizing childhoods to where the male was made the center. You rarely saw the woman able to have time to freely express herself or pursue the things that she wanted to, or, she stunted her growth in some type of way by chasing a man. And these are the type of characteristics that we pass down generation to generation. We pass down these thought processes and learned behaviors. That the goal in life is to get married and to have children, which there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when you prioritize it at the top as if that's the only thing in life, as if that's the only thing that you can accomplish. That's the only thing that can make you feel fulfilled, happy, and full. I really think that women have been sold a lie on that. And a lot of us focus a lot of our time being male-centered, just thinking about being in relationships, jumping from one relationship to the next. And a lot of women have never actually spent real, true time alone without being in a relationship or a situationship. It's one man to the next. So ladies, if you are a female that can say that, and at one point in time, I was her. If you are a woman that can say, well, damn, I've always been under the, thumb of a male, whether that's through chasing validation, trying to be in a relationship, being led on and thinking that you're going to be married, dealing with abuse, dealing with narcissistic men, dealing with men who have wasted your time. And I've had some good experiences too. But my experience is seeing the effect that this society has on not only women and how we think, but men and how they think. And how they think that we're here just for servitude. As we're here only as a helpmate, only to please. We're supposed to help each other. A lot of men have been raised to be very codependent on their mother, on aunties, on whatever female is around. Whether it's getting food, sleeping with women, taking up their energy just to make them feel full, just you being released whenever they feel ready. This affects our ability to have true, genuine connections with each other, because that cattiness kicks in, because we're in competition mode, because, not enough men are around. And, I'm going to hit the wall by the time I'm 30. And, I'm not valuable and beautiful enough. I don't look like this. All of these things making us feel anxious and in a rush to be in a relationship when we don't even know ourselves. So a lot of that plays into our ability to really connect with each other, because if we're not honest with ourselves, we can't be honest with each other as friends. And a lot of times we get defensive if there's something about us that, if someone wants to offer constructive criticism. A lot of women don't know how to handle that. And when you can't communicate on a simple basis like that, I don't care what type of relationship you're in, it's not going to be successful. It's not going to grow. So I also want to mention the fact that the type of female that you want to surround yourself with, especially as you grow in your journey, especially as you mature, especially as you try to be more productive in your life. The type of females that you have around you speaks about you. You got people still, all they want to do is just drink, smoke, and party. They still on that? And you think that you're going to be around that and be productive? A lot of us have to clean up our circle and realize the types of behaviors we're allowing ourselves to sit back and enable. Excuse me, I feel like my music might be a little too loud. The type of behavior that we sit back and enable. And just how we can trauma bond, not with only men, but with amongst ourselves as well as women. There's a lot of trauma bonding and competition and mama issues. And I'm in a miserable relationship, so I'm going to take it out on every female and everybody else because my man cheating on me. So every other woman is the threat. We have to align ourselves with what we're looking for. So the type of women who aren't good friends that you don't need to be hanging around with are women who talk too much. A lot of women who talk too much can be very insecure, need attention and validation, can be very braggadocious and like to show out, show off everything they have. Those type of women are very jealous because they're going to have their mouth open about you. The things that you confide in them about, they're going to be telling everybody else because they can't keep their mouth shut. Discernment with picking your friends. And I'm a person personally, I keep a small circle, a very small circle. I haven't had a lot of friends throughout life. And for me, this is a subject that I really had to dig deep and think about. Think about my relationships and my friendships. Because when I look at my friendships, you know, at first I used to compare my friendships to other people or see other people, how they were friends and what friendship meant to them and how close it seemed like people were. But the people who love me and friends in my life got to understand I need my space. Don't pop up at my house unannounced. That I have to be my own person. I don't want to see you every day. I don't want to be at your house every day. I don't want you at my house every day. And in a lot of these unbalanced relationships, you got females who are controlling. Just like a man tries to be controlling and manipulating. So you have to evaluate all of your relationships. Females who are manipulative, who are controlling, who are energy vampires, who are only seeking to gain from you. These females out here exist, and these are the females who cannot pour into you, are not concerned with you, how you're doing. They're always talking about themselves. And if you watch females like this, they like having a team of yes men around them. They like people who are gonna, appease them and do what they say, and just people who are just laid back and chill, people who they think that they can run over and manipulate and just have their hand out. This is also a dangerous female. She's not going to be there for you when you need her. And a lot of people get offended, when you just naturally grow apart in life. Sometimes it's friendship. In friendship, you got to know when you done hit the next level. And if that person ain't gelling with you, if you're not aligned anymore, it's like, just move forward. Stop wasting each other's time. And a lot of people don't know how to take that. They don't know how to look at themselves or process what happened. And, a lot of people can't take the honesty or the separation, because a lot of people that I notice in friendship, by me being a loner, a lot of people get oddly attached. To where it's like they're no longer, it seems like, an individual. And I've just always found that weird. And sometimes I think those type of friendships are, based on a lot of fakeness and phoniness and just filling your time with, fluff to keep from dealing with what's going on the inside. Some females like that might not be happy at home. They might be overwhelmed. They might be stressed. They might be depressed or bored at home. Their life circumstances might not be the best. I need some water, y'all. But these weird, clingy type friendships, I can't. And y'all feel free to drop in the comments. Let me know your experiences. Oh, what's up? What's up, D Slim OG? In the building. I see you. Thank you for popping through. I appreciate you, brother. You always spreading love. Shout out to my real subscribers over here at Claire's Revival. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. But back to these weird friendships and the type of females that you really, need to be staying away from if you call yourself trying to mature, trying to progress in life. I've already talked about the blabbermouth, the insecure person. And that's another one. There's this type of woman that's very insecure to the fact that where she sort of blows with the wind. I call it the blow in the wind female, because she's so insecure. She doesn't know how to stand on what she believes. She doesn't know how to be firm on boundaries. And women like that are dangerous. Women like that also can talk too much and be swayed in different directions, don't know who they are. Very dangerous. So for me, I just feel like a lot of friendships aren't worth it unless I'm just really gelling and people can understand me. We can understand each other for who we are. Like, I'm a person that just rolls solo dolo. But I will say something that I'm learning as I mature, as I heal. There's reasons that I tend to isolate a lot. So as I heal, at some point in time, we all need somebody. We all need somebody sometimes. And so it's very important, like, to form good bonds, good relationships, people that you can talk to, that you don't have to be codependent on, but you nurture each other. You help each other. You want to see each other grow and win. That's important amongst us as women. And so my point in saying that is, people are crazy out here. And I feel like as we're fighting a spiritual battle, if you can't find people that you can really gel with and grow with, it's best to roll solo dolo. And there are other ways that we can form connections and bonds and sisterhood. You know, it just doesn't have to be through friendships. You know, it's through talking with your family, your aunties in the family, your younger brothers and sisters, your nephews, your cousins, uplifting them, sharing stories of what you went through, checking on them, letting them know that there's an elder that cares about them, and you checking on your elders. We need to start reaching out more to each other, family-wise, even your strong friends. Check in on your strong friends, the people that you think are always okay, the people who just, you know, can just go through the most and just knock it off and it seems like it's nothing. Everyone has that dark hour where we need somebody, we need release. And when we form these multi-dimensional relationships around us in our community, like I was saying, with your family, your nephews, your sisters, your brothers, your aunties, the elders in your family, talking with them, you enrich yourself and you spread kindness. You make somebody else's day. When someone knows that, you know, there's an auntie out there that loves me and cares about me, she's going to check on me. We need to build those relationships. And also, we can find sisterhood and camaraderie in support groups. You know, there are plenty of things for us to get into as women if we're bored, if we're stressed, if we're trying to get over an abusive or narcissistic relationship. There are resources, free resources, so many things out there in the community that you can get into, y'all. I done found me a free yoga class, y'all. And it's hard, but my goal is to become more fit, to become more flexible. And in that yoga class, it's a sisterhood there. And we come and we do something positive and we uplift each other and we don't judge each other. We're all different shapes and sizes trying to make a positive decision. Get in your community. Volunteer somewhere that you're passionate about. Get involved. If you need a narcissist support group to go to, there are those in the community. You have those communities also on social media that you can utilize and find different avenues of expressing yourself and spreading love as a woman when there aren't quite the right people around you yet. And I believe I'm speaking from where I'm at, where I am in life. Let me check the chat. Do I see someone? Get in my bag. I'm in my bag. I'm trying to get like you, big player. But so we can have these multi-dimensional ways of fulfilling ourselves and showing that sisterhood. Like I was saying, if you're not quite surrounded by the right people yet, because some of us got so much going on in our lives, so many negative people around us, that it's just like we got to reach out and find those things and bring it to us, because it's out there. It's out there. Man, I remember one time I was riding a bus. This was many years ago, but this moment has always stuck in my mind. And that was something that really made me look at myself, made me question myself, being a happy person. And, in the South, we always smiling and speaking and stuff. And so depending on where you from, like, bitch, what the fuck you speaking? I don't know you. So, that's something that's weird. But anyway, years ago, I'm riding a bus. I'm trying to get to somewhere. And I'm a friendly person. So this lady gets on the bus, an older woman. She was older than me at the time. Not much older. I'd say maybe about 10 years older than me at the time. And so she gets on the bus. I give her a little, head nod and a smile just to try to be polite. And she looks at me and says, I don't go that way. And I'm thinking to myself, bitch, I don't need And so I said, don't flatter yourself. But the whole reason for me speaking to her was the fact that she looked like she needed a smile. She looked like she was down. And it wasn't like about her physical appearance. It was just about the spirit around her. And so I'm a person, I like to give compliments. I like to smile. But, ever since that day, ever since that interaction, I was like, you can't be nice to people. Some people don't know how to accept love, genuine kindness, because they've never seen it before. Or maybe she just really thought I was gay. I don't know. But that was something that was just a moment that just stood out, and something that I think about often in life. And there was times where I wish I would have said something more, but I just sort of, tried to let it roll off, got a little slick with it and let it roll. But it really just made me feel self-conscious about how I interact with people, what I say, and being too kind and polite, especially at that point. At that point, I was riding the bus because I was dealing with the first abusive relationship that I was in. So I lost everything and I was on the bus. So I was really evaluating my relationships with people, how I come off, how I talk to people. And, I don't know. Another thing I think that we can also do is seek to do more positive activities with each other. A lot of times we get stuck in these mundane habits of, okay, every Saturday night we gonna do this, we gonna do that. Let's raise the vibe. Let's do something different. And if people are open to that, then those are your type of people. People who are open to trying new experiences, trying new things. Like, those are the people that you really want to grow and explore with. And as a person who is a loner at this stage, at this level of my healing, I really feel like God is getting ready to bring like-minded people into my life. People who really want to see me grow, people who want to see me win. Because throughout all the things that I've endured in life, I've picked myself up and I've learned to have a positive mindset about things. And there's times when you can go through things, so much trauma, so much BS, that you feel like, life, there's nothing to offer in life. You can really start to feel down and depressed like that. And when you're in that energy of just being pessimistic and just thinking negatively, that's when you really start to attract the negative things. And so what can we do? What are some more things that we can do to start to build these more positive relationships? Another thing that I really wanted to get into is, let me know in the comments, ladies. Now, one thing that I am noticing, which makes it hard for us to really have bonds, is what's up with the older generation hating the younger generation. I really dealt with a lot of elders who were older than me, who were supposed to be putting me on game, who were supposed to be wanting to root for me and see me win. Really hateful towards young, intelligent, smart women. Have y'all went through that? There's a lot of that. There's a lot of this generational hate, generational jealousy, or just different in thought process, or each generation thinking that the next one is lazy. There is a major disconnect between generations, and I really believe a lot of that is due to trauma just based in the home. But yeah, some of the other things that we can do to build that sisterhood is to be self-aware. A lot of us aren't self-aware. That's another type of friend, another type of female you don't want to be around. Someone who is not self-aware, someone who is not emotionally intelligent, who can't control their emotions. You have to be self-aware and be able to reflect if you want to have a true relationship with yourself and anybody else. So we really have a lot of internal work to do before we can think we can have healthy relationships with the opposite sex or with each other. Because there's a lot of cattiness out there. A lot of cattiness. And I believe a lot of us, there's so many twisted ideas that people have, like, the people who have the idea of, all my friends are 10s and better, or you got people who have the mindset of, I'm going to be the prettiest friend, so I like to have ugly friends. Like, that's just, what is that about? That's insecurity. It's competition. And Shanquilla Robinson just popped up in my head. To the fact that you can be so jealous and envious of somebody that you can plan a trip with them, hate on them, spend their money, eat off of them. And do that girl the way they did her. This is why I feel like it's safer to roll solo dolo. This is why I don't travel in large groups. First of all, I'm gonna want to do different stuff. First of all, we got the all commit to the same itinerary. We all got to figure out something that we all like to do. We all want to do. Too many personalities. Somebody gonna come broke. I don't have time for all that. Shanquilla Robinson, rest your soul. Rest in power. And there's been so many other stories after her. What is this disdain and this hate that we have for each other? Where we're jealous, where we're not confident, where we can't sit next to another beautiful woman and not feel threatened. And yeah, it's hard out here in this society. Society, especially as Black women, society tells us that we're not good enough, that we're ugly, that we're shaped different, that everything about us is ugly. While in the meanwhile, coaches all around stay copying. Society has us thinking that we're less than. So everyone's in this competition. Everyone's in this competition to prove how much money they got. Just flexing. All this fake flexing. Spending too much money, trying to compete with the Joneses, trying to compete with your friend. It's foolishness. And the root of it My theory is yourself. How you feel about yourself. How mentally healthy are you? So you got to be self-aware and get to the bottom of your pain, your trauma. You have to have boundaries. You have to have authentic chemistry with people. And not just wanting to collect souls is what I call it. Just collect people because we passing time together. We smoking and we drinking together. We clubbing together. We used to doing this. We've been doing this since high school. Ain't it time to elevate? Ain't it time to do some real stuff? Ain't it time to work for God? Ain't it time to pursue your passion? Ain't it time to do that with people who love you and support you and want to see you win? There's a lot of hurt people out here seeking to drain and destroy your light. As a spiritualist, I gotta mention it. Females are out here performing witchcraft because of their hatred for themselves and jealousy and envy and inability to look at themselves and be accountable. Women who are entitled, who grew up entitled. You know, maybe they were the only child or the youngest child or whatever, or, you know, for whatever reason. Maybe people have always come to their aid in life. You have people who feel entitled and feel like you should. You should be in this one-sided friendship with me. You should. Figure out what's important to you. Time is too important to be wasting. You can support your fellow sister by giving a like on their page, by supporting their business, by giving a compliment, by having deep, meaningful, healing conversations with each other. So, you know, for me, the sisterhood does exist because it's a way of life for me. And even though I don't have a lot of friends, even though I roll solo dolo, there's a sisterhood in the way that I connect with other women. And if I can't fuck with you, I'm just going to leave you alone. I'm not going to hate on you. I'm not going to spread your business. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm not going to try to set you up for demise. As long as you leave me alone, I'm going to leave you alone. But get out the box. Get out the box that you cut for yourself. And when you get out that box, that's when you'll start to attract the type of meaningful relationships with positive people that you're looking for. A lot of us have these toxic relationships that we need to get out of because we're being content with the same old mess. We're being stuck in the same behaviors. Maybe we're afraid to cut off relationships that we know we need to. Maybe we don't want to hurt people's feelings. And there are some people who are like gnats. They just keep flying. They just never go away. And that's when you really have to establish more firm boundaries. Surround yourself with love, people. The sisterhood exists if you exude it. Love is needed. We need to stay on our mental health. We need to support one another in every way that we can. And stay away from the toxic foolishness. Excuse me. Stop feeling like you need all these time fillers, whether it be through with a man and a home girl, like to keep from dealing with yourself. This is just the type of stuff that I see a lot of, especially in my age group and older women too. A lot of us are lonely. Even if we're in a marriage, even if we're in a relationship, a lot of us are in situations and lonely. We need each other. We need to be able to reach out to one another. All right, y'all. So I think I'm about to close for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me check. Okay, I was just checking the chat again. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I hope that you really gained something from it. I hope that you evaluate yourself, evaluate your interactions with females. And if you notice yourself feeling triggered or feeling any type of emotions or jealousy, anger, whatever the case is, get to the bottom of why you feel like that. Get to the bottom of why you may not be surrounded by any positive people, just negative people. Do you need to clean up? Is it something that you need to be doing? Pass out love and see how much love you get. It doesn't hurt to be kind to someone. It doesn't hurt to give a compliment. It doesn't hurt to uplift someone, because we are all, in this day and time, honey, I feel it. In this day and time, a lot of us are very troubled, whether it just be mentally, whether it be financially, whether it be spiritually. A lot of us are dealing with a lot of shit on top of what's going on in the world today. So we need each other, ladies, okay? Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you would like to donate, you can donate by Cash App, hashtag LoveClara360. I will see you all soon. Please take care of yourselves, okay? If you like one-on-one coaching, please book on my website, www.clarasrevival.com. I will see you soon, family. I love you. Take care.